Comfort zone? What comfort zone? Hi, and welcome back to Plastic Models by Regular Dude, and my next project, the Tamiya 120 scale Honda RA272. Comfort zone or lack thereof. So, here we are, my next project, the Honda RA272 1965 Mexico winner by Tamiya. If you follow my channel, you know that I am primarily, well, pretty much exclusively, almost exclusively, a military vehicle and aircraft modeler. It's mainly armor, lots of military aircraft, and generally World War II subjects. I have had a couple of forays, two to be exact, forays into sci-fi with a couple of Star Wars kits by Bandai. But in just looking around at stuff, I thought I would like to try something a little bit different. Still got some military models on the sidelines ready to go. And I'll probably be building one in conjunction with this, as I usually do. However, I thought I really want to try something different. And as far as automotive racing goes, motorsports, I've always kind of leaned toward the F1 type stuff. I mean, I couldn't name an F1 driver to save my life, but I like that style of racing, and I like older things, and I really like this particular type of body style for cars. And I thought, you know what, this has gotten some good reviews. I've seen a few people build these and they look really good, and I like the looks of it. So I thought, you know what, it's time for me to try something a little bit different. So here we are. So first thing I'm going to do, like normal, I like to kind of delve into the ScaleMates aspect. And if you don't know what ScaleMates is, it's a website, scalemates.com, and it's just a wealth of information and tools for modelers. And one of the things you can do on this web page, this website, is look up the timeline for a given kit. So you just punch in the number, the description, whatever, you find it, you click on it, then there's a product timeline portion on the page, and that's where you can get this kind of information, and it's really interesting. So in this particular case, this kit was a new tool kit in 1996. So that's a few years ago. There was a new box introduced in 1998. But that's it. Same exact car, just a different box. This is the 1996 box version. Now, I'm not saying this kit is from 1996, but this is the one that was designed, this box, in 96. So that's all there is for a product timeline. Well, I take that back. There's a couple of 2013 new tool and decals, and those look like it's called the Masterwork Collection, and it looks like it's already assembled. It's ready to go. It's on a plaque, and yeah, so you can see exactly what it looks like. But that's it. So let's take a quick look at the box. You've got two marking options here, stuff in Japanese. This is copyright 1996, 2014, made in Philippines. So obviously this particular one was boxed in 2014. The end opener, and then you've got an overhead view of the two cars. I guess those are the drivers. You got R. Bucknam and R. Ginther. Car number 12, car number 11. This is the one you see the most, car number 11. As you can see, it's still sealed. So when we open this thing up, we're opening it together. I haven't seen the inside of this. I've never seen the plastic for this kit in real life, so this is going to be a first. So let me slice it open and we'll take a look. Okay, I haven't been doing this as much with my builds, but since this is a completely new kit for me, I'm going to do it. We'll kind of go through the contents of the box, looking at the sprues and everything else, but I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. So the first thing you have in the box is the Tamiya Tech Tips, indicating which tools and materials a person should use, and then some assembly and kind of tech tips kind of thing, which is the title. Kind of gives you a little breakdown of what you should be using for the kit. And then we have the instructions. Let's give some information in let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 languages. And then you have the fold-out instructions. Now, I'm not going to go through all this stuff, but it's the usual thing most manufacturers do nowadays. Hints and tips, and then getting into the actual instruction bit of it. So this is going to be really, really different for me because I'm used to the build sequence in military vehicles and aircraft models. And this I'm going to have to pretty much, I think, stick with the actual assembly process throughout this kit, and hope I can pull it off. But it looks pretty good. Each step is not too complex. Looks like we've got a total of 20 assembly steps. The last one just being attaching the engine cover and the sides and the nose. Front and rear cowls, it's called. And then on the back we have some painting stuff, and then the decal application. And like I said, there's 2 of them, and it looks like everything is identical except for the name and the number, depending on which one you do. So there you go. Now here's something interesting here. Car number 11, T car. I have no idea what that means. I'll have to try and look that up. But that's the instructions. It's the usual thing for Tamiya. Let's get the paper goods out of the way. So I've already looked at the instructions, tech tips. Now here are the decals. And number 11, number 12, the guy's name, whichever driver you choose, Honda, and some smaller emblems there. We got some, you probably can't see them in the video, but maybe if I get them up here, right underneath these numbers, they're white, so they're really hard to see. Some gauge faces, and then something else right there, which I can't see. But these are actually, says copyright 96. Now, I'm sure these aren't from 1996, but pretty good looking decals. I mean, Tamiya always makes really nice looking decals. It's just sometimes the thickness of them can be a little bit annoying. But I mean, I guess if a person wanted to, they could avoid using decals for this here, for the numbers and for that letter if used, and then just use decals for the smaller parts. But I don't think I'm going to do that since this is my first true car model. Well, I say my first true car model. I've actually built car models a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but you know, that's another story. You get a little bag here with some screws that are used to attach the rear cowls, and then these poly caps, probably for the wheels. Now, the first plastic is we have the body of the car here, and it's really nice and shiny. Now it's got some raised like little, I don't know if that's supposed to be there or if that's just from the molding process or if the real car had it. But I'll make mention of this here in a minute whenever we look at more of the plastic. But it's kind of interesting that that's there, and it's really shiny, which I'll bring up here in a minute. But anyway, that's the body. Looks good. It's got all this bolt detail here for sure engine mounts, suspension, whatever. But that is that. I'm going to keep that in the bag, keep it protected. We have sprue C here, which is the canopy parts. Canopy parts. See, I build aircraft kits. The windscreen and these other parts here. But they're real nice and clear, not too much distortion going on. Some of this I'm sure is going to be painted, but I don't know what. But again, we'll get into that as we move through the process. Okay, we have sprue A here, and this is the nose, more body parts, the floor, the underneath of the car, and I'm thinking this is the cockpit, and then here is the rear firewall. But again, these parts are really super shiny, really shiny, and all these little small parts, they're all molded in one piece. And you know what? I am not going to complain, because being my first car, I'd hate to have to be putting all that stuff together. There's some mold seam lines that are going to have to be dealt with, but it's like that with just about any kit. Looks like we got some ejector pin marks, push pin marks right here on the top of these. Let's call them wishbone parts of the suspension. I'm not sure if those will be covered up or if I'll have to kind of take care of those. I'm thinking that most of the ones that are in here you're not going to see, and there are not any here. On the inside here there are some, but again, I don't think these are going to be visible from outside the car, so should be okay. I think got a couple here, but again, we'll have to just determine if they're visible. I'll have to try and take care of them, otherwise I'll be okay. This is the actual engine side here, so those might be concealed. But anyway, that's sprue A, some body parts. We have sprue B. Ooh, this is in black. So we got some suspension parts, the wheels, drive shafts, exhaust components, the dash, more suspension parts, seat. Again, they all look pretty good. Steering wheel, they all look pretty good. I will have to take care of some mold seam lines, but you know, that's expected in just about every kit. Detail looks good. I mean, I'm not a car person, so I don't know if this is like spectacular or if it's mediocre or if it's weak. I don't know. Looks good to me. Lots of nice little details, bolt heads and stuff like that going on. So, yeah, that's sprue B. And we have sprue D, which is looks like the engine parts and the disc brakes, and it's in silver. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if a person wanted to, if they were just wanting to stick something on the shelf, maybe a first kit or something like that, it looks like they've done it in a way where either don't have to paint or paint would be at a minimum. It's one of those molded in color type kits that I used to love when I was a kid. But these are engine parts. Looks like some suspension too. Those springs, the mold seam lines, at least they're lined. At least the two halves of the springs are lined up. Like say these are the coils. They're not like kind of offset from poor molding. They're lined up, so the cleanup should be good. Should be easy. Yeah, just some brakes there and some engine parts. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So that is sprue D, and it's molded right on here. Copyright 1996, Tamiya. That's it. That's all the parts. There's not very much there. The only other thing, and it came in a bag by itself, are these Goodyear tires. Now, I want to make a point here. Sometimes, especially if they're the vinyl stuff, tires are just horrible. Horrible. They'll have a seam down the middle. They'll just look hideous. These are nice. They're like a dull rubber color. I mean, they're rubber. I mean, I'm sure they're something else, but they look like a real rubber tire. And so you don't have to doctor them up and paint them up. And it's got the Goodyear emblem is already pre-printed on there. It's not raised. Looks like it's printed in some kind of metallic looking ink. But these tires are really nice looking. You know, I remember back in the really old days when I used to build like Revell and AMT car and truck kits, the tires were hideous, man. They were hard vinyl and they just didn't look good. And these, I like them. They look good, so I won't have any problem using those. That was the back. They're much larger than the front. So there you go. That is all the parts. So there you have it. That is the RA272 Honda 120 scale by Tamiya. My plan for this video series is going to be kind of a semi step-by-step, since I'm going to be learning a lot going along the way, and I think probably the majority of my viewers don't build car models. So in case, you know, any of them felt like, hey, I want to build a car model, you'll get some ideas of what it's like, because I'll just kind of go through the process. Again, not step by step, I don't think, but kind of you know, semi step by step. So we'll be seeing what I'm building. I'll be talking about it, talking about things I run into or whatever, painting, all that. So that's what the video series is going to be about. I'm going to try and keep it to 1 or 2 steps per video, so there may be more videos, but they won't be quite as long. I want to keep them at a manageable level, keep people's interest peaked. There will be painting involved. There may be some painting styles or painting techniques that I am not used to at all, like body work. That one's got me concerned, but we'll plug through it. I want to make this look a decent model. Because this is my first automotive model, I don't think I'm going to do any weathering on it. I'm not going to make it look, you know, like it's been through a long race and it's got, you know, road film and stuff like that. I think I'm going to have it set up for like it's at the local mall or the local car show for people to look at. So I'm going to keep it really clean. So yeah, I think that's it. So that's the plan. Hopefully you'll stick around and watch. If you have any experience with this kit or kits like it, I'd like to hear your experiences. I'd like to hear if you liked it, didn't like it, indifferent, maybe some tips or pointers. I'd like to hear about it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That is the new one. So thanks for following along on the intro to the Tamiya 120 scale Honda RA272 Formula One car. Hope you'll stick around. If you would like and you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button so you can follow along if you like. If you like this video, hit the like. I'm trying to sharpen my videos up a bit, make them a little more concise, not so long. So hit that like button if you liked it. All right, that's it. That's all I got. That's all there is, and there ain't no more. So stay tuned for the next episode where we can actually start building this thing. As always, thanks for watching Plastic Models by Regular Dude, and I'll see you all later.